Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm going to sit down and do one of these long videos for you guys and answer a question a subscriber asked about zero-calorie and calorie-free beverages and drinks. And do they hurt your gains, help your gains, good or bad for your health, whatever. Now, a few people have noticed, hey Jason, you do these longer videos now. Why do you do it? It seems sometimes like you repeat yourself. Well, here's the thing, guys. These longer videos are actually easier for me to make than short ones because you guys know my 3-minute videos are actually like 8 or 9 minutes long. And then I have to go through and edit them to try to condense them down. And you know what I find? By condensing the message down and only saying something one way instead of repeating it 2 or 3 different ways, it creates confusion. People don't actually understand what I say. I get misquoted a lot more. People don't understand the message I'm saying in the video because most human beings, and some of you guys are smart, and that's the thing. Some of you guys are more intelligent than other people. And you're going, well, I only need to hear it one way, and I get it. Why is this the same thing being repeated? Because you're probably above average intelligence, and so you notice it. A lot of people, average intelligence people, generally need to hear something kind of 3 different times before it fully sticks in their brain. And there's quite a bit of data on that. And most people are average, and there's nothing wrong with being average. Majority of people are, and they have other traits to balance things back out. Everyone's really good at something out there. Everyone's really shitty at something out there, and most people are average at most things. No big deal. But when I do them this way, not only am I getting an enormous number of minutes watched, my analytics say people are actually watching them, few exceptions, but it just clarifies points better, and there's a hell of a lot less confusion. And I have to go through and explain a lot less in the comments because they got the answer in the video if they just watched it. It makes my job so much easier and the editing's easier. Now, to answer that question, zero-calorie beverages, big controversial topic because you guys know there was a lot of controversy about aspartame, but you know what? That controversy has ended over a decade ago. No substance out there in food has been studied more or had more millions of dollars of independent study thrown at it trying to figure out if it was safe or not than aspartame. It seems to be safe. People worry about weight gain from low-calorie or artificially sweetened drinks, and you know what? That's been studied also. Apparently there is no insulin response, which is a concern, which will then, of course, lower blood sugar, make you hungry, all of that. You know what, guys? That's been studied. It's not actually true. That was something a lot of medical doctors were worried about. I even saw it on like Dr. Oz or something many years ago. Not a concern. It doesn't spike insulin. They don't increase hunger. In fact, the newest meta-analysis this year that I saw showed that artificially sweetened drinks seem to actually be a slightly useful weight loss tool. What do I mean by slightly? Well, they seem to have a small satiety effect. And with that small satiety effect, because of the carbonation, the tasting something sweet, feeling a bit of satisfaction, you get that satisfaction in your mouth, on your tongue of something sweet, and because they're water is filling. They're carbonated on top of that. Oftentimes carbonation can be a little extra filling in your stomach from the little tingly bubbles and everything. And because you got some satiety from it, a lot of people eat just a little bit less. Not a lot, but just a little bit less through the day as a result of it. Well, if you're trying to lose weight or lose body fat, getting a little tiny advantage with no drawback could be worthwhile. Is it going to be worth a lot? No, we're talking like an ounce or two, maybe a few ounces of fat loss difference per month. But you know what? In the grand scheme of things, if that little useful tool has no drawbacks and it helps you lose a couple of ounces of extra fat a month just by helping take that edge off of your cravings, well, that makes it a useful tool. I mean, it's not like a powerful fat burner or anything, but that's useful, right? Same thing for people who tend to overeat even when they bulk. You're getting something in that's satiating, tastes sweet, doesn't have the drawbacks. In fact, it doesn't spike insulin, doesn't spike glucose, doesn't have those negative effects. You guys know what else? All these concerns about cancer and everything looking at these things, again, it's been studied ad nauseum. There's a hell of a lot of things out there that cause cancer. All right, the list is a fucking mile long. Do you know what's not on that list now that we've studied it closely? Artificial sweeteners. There's no link. Doesn't appear to be a link at all. And you know what? People who tend to drink artificial sweeteners on top of that tend to be people who are going to be physically active. All you guys who are out there, since there's no correlation between these things and cancer. And because most of you who are watching this, who are using them as a dietary tool, probably diet well. You eat a healthy diet. You guys eat plenty of fiber. Most of you do, right? You lift weights. You do cardio. You're doing all the things that reduce cancer rates anyways. In fact, the people who are using 0-calorie drinks with artificial sweeteners as part of a fitness lifestyle are actually the lowest demographic as far as getting cancer anyways. Like, you guys are the ones who are the safe ones already. It's like, if you end up getting cancer and you're in that fitness demographic, that's just piss poor luck. That is bad luck, and that sucks. That really sucks because you did everything right. But the thing is, it's just a gamble. And at the end of the day, even if you get your lifestyle down to where you're one of the people who only have a 1 or a 2% chance of getting cancer, that sucks, because out of every 100 of you, 1 or 2 are going to get it anyways. But at least you're not in one of those demographics that 1 in 3 of you are going to get it. But honestly, we're talking about the demographic of people here with the lowest chance of getting cancer. People who eat balanced, healthy diets with plenty of vegetables, people who lift weights, people who do cardio, people who are mindful of what they put into their bodies. You're just the lowest rate of cancer overall. It can still happen, but it's low. And these drinks haven't been tied to it. So overall, these drinks don't really have major negatives other than the cost, the price tag on them. For some people, they're a useful satiety and weight loss tool. But at the end of the day, they're not going to make or break your diet. They're just a little tiny edge they might give. But if your diet is not on point and you're struggling to lose any weight anyways, they're not going to be the deciding factor that makes or breaks you. So, whether you choose to use this tool or not isn't going to be massively significant. It's just going to be a small difference in the long term if they help you with satiation. But the drawbacks don't really seem to be there. So it's one of those things that if you choose to use it as a slightly helpful tool, hey, great. If you can afford it and it's in your budget, great. But you know what? If you can't afford it and you go, you know what, man, that thing's $1 or $1.50 a bottle for those 2 liters or even more if I'm buying the little bitty ones, I don't think it's really worth it to me, the money for that little tiny edge of maybe an ounce difference of fat loss a month for the satiety. It's just not worth it to me. You know what? Like with anything else you buy in this world, you have to decide for yourself if it's worth it. And if you're spending $1 a day on something that you don't feel is worth it and you're on a really, really tight budget, don't buy it. It's not going to make or break you. It really isn't. In the grand scheme of things, it won't. The only people it might make or break are people who are doing a really, really strict diet and they have some financial motive involved because they're competing in something or a photo shoot coming or something like that. There's a financial incentive. And they really, really need that tiny, tiny little edge. For those people, it might not be optional. But for everyone else, it's one of those, if it breaks your budget or you'd rather spend the money on something else, not a big deal. They're not a must-have. They're just a little useful tool. So overall, 0-calorie drinks are for the most part safe. They can be a mildly effective weight loss tool. And no real problems with them other than some people might not want to spend the money. And at the end of the day, that's always what all these products come down to. Are they worth the money to you or not personally? And you know what? I can't decide that for you. I can't write your budget for you. You got to figure that out for yourself. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.